Welcome to episode 4 of Sands of Fate, which is also, I think, episode 14 of Aftermath? Quite potentially. Been a while since we did this, about a month, I think. But where we left off, it was in a tent, early morning, with the character Violet, was, after being somewhat outed as something potentially supernatural, or with some supernatural abilities granted by the goddess Vimfine, the goddess of, like, blood and murder. Maybe not murder. Actually, that... Anyway. She had been found nearly dead, and these guys had managed to heal her a little bit, which apparently worked a lot. Left her in a tent overnight, and they have just woken her up in the middle of kind of a desert. Funny that, innit? So, I think we will pretty much just jump straight back into it.
I really should have rewatched the last episode.
I should have too. I don't remember a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Violet.
Yeah?
How are you feeling?
Like and she sort of like coughs up a bunch of dried sand. It's like congealed with blood in it. Sort of globule coughs about. Like I've been eating sand.
Do you remember much?
She appears to sort of think for a moment then. No, nothing.
Right. We're still in the desert. We were attacked by sandstorms. Quite a few of the camels got eaten. Quite a few of the gang as well. We still have the food, the rations and camels to get out of here, but it's been interesting.
She sort of looks up at you for a moment. Who the hell are you?
I'm Ferdinand. We were traveling with you.
Right. Right. She starts like pushing herself up on, kind of onto her elbows and then sitting up.
Part of your of the caravan left off towards the temple. Temple to Vimfine.
Yeah. Right.
We shouldn't keep our hopes up for them.
What do you mean?
Well,
It appears they've been eaten.
I saw the biggest sandstorm I've ever seen in my life, and I ever expect to see in my life, crest the horizon, absolutely eating a structure.
Right.
First, we're
Sure.
gonna make sure you're alright.
I'm fine.
You sure? You disappeared on us.
Does she look fine?
She
Don't you remember
looks-
anything?
I think we determined she looked terrible, but she was living.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she was also healing at a demonstrable rate.
Yeah, she
yeah,
was.
well,
She-
yeah, we dropped I think we dropped every single heal we had on her.
No. It was still more crazy than that.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
healing pretty mental. She looks a lot like she's been through a fight or something. She has not in a good state, but at the same time got that kind of there's nothing that can be done about it. You can't heal this. It's just sort of like a bit
It's
worse for
and
wear.
tear.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys were everybody else is beginning to rouse as the sun crests the horizon somewhat. Among the Dune Sea. Guys are in the middle of what's known as the dry patch.
Would I be able to guess how much is left of the dry patch?
From what you've seen on the maps, probably. So go ahead and roll. I would be survival this would.
I have a really high stat for that.
That's pretty good. 22. Okay. You've got about another 50 miles, maybe. It'd be somewhere between a 50 and sort of 70, 75, that kind of area.
Have any of the camels started dying yet?
The camels have not started dying, but you are having to feed them with the water in the barrels. Or
yeah.
they'll dehydrate and die themselves.
Yeah, okay.
They
That's
are
fine.
not being fed ale.
I thought that was a given.
Yeah, that is a given.
It is.
It's just the drunkard over here.
Yeah.
Just a little. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna ask, how soon do you think we can start moving again?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking that to anyone who will answer.
Gonna
The
shrug.
person on the ground dying, the other person, whoever.
I believe she was on one of the beds you put up in
We're
the
in a
tent.
tent.
Yeah.
She's
bad.
like
Yeah.
trying to sit up
Just
at
on
the
the
moment.
ground.
Sharing a tent with
Yeah.
Salia, I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Violet, that one depends on you.
I should probably change my name.
I'm good. Let's go. Where are we?
I think.
We're in the
Middle
desert
of the dry patch, pretty much.
Where are we going?
of a desert.
North towards the mountain range.
Right. Right, of course. She tries to, like, stand up. It's a bit shaky at first. But
I'll be ready to support her.
yeah, she's a bit shaky at first, but manages to get her bearings better.
Right.
Alright, yeah. I don't remember if I
If we
mentioned
need
this.
to build this.
Did I mention it last time? I think I mentioned it last time that her armor was missing.
I
Yeah,
think you did.
Pretty sure you did.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
she
sure
has
she
a
did.
super fancy armor which is just missing. Cool. Sorry, I just realised I had to update the character sheet.
Look, if we need to build you a sled, we'll build you a sled.
No, I can ride a camel, I think. That shouldn't be too hard.
What's the last thing you remember?
Yeah, she sort of thinks for a minute and... darkness.
Darkness.
Yeah, there was darkness, and then... something called my name, I think? 5 voices in unison. She sort of like nods, she's kind of remembering it, and in a sense confirming it, her memory to herself. Yeah, and then I was here.
You're sure about that?
No?
Sounds like a near-death experience to me.
You weren't in too good of a shape when we found you.
Not quite, no.
You seem to have healed pretty quickly, though.
She sort of like looks down at herself. I guess?
Yeah. Alright, you know what? No point loitering here. Let's get a move on.
Yeah, let's... Where are we going again?
North towards mountain
Oh.
range.
I have a note for this.
It's called Crestolia Caves was the goal.
Yeah, that's what
It is.
Knew it's
So-
something.
Do you... Okay, so as she sort of winces as she steps out into the much brighter light as the tent flap opens, but yeah, she heads over towards the camels and starts fumbling with some of the not the reins, the like, what the fuck the word is, the ropes, I guess, tying them up, and starts attempting to untie the one of the camels. As you guys pack up camp for the day. Okay, so
Mhm.
you're heading onwards towards the heading onwards for the day. How long do you intend to ride for?
As long as the camels will take us.
Okay,
Yeah, I would say we're going at a normal
Basically.
pace.
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
so that is at camel speed, which I think is pretty much walking speed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
IRL
it's,
is walking speed.
yeah, so it's like
Shit.
about 24 miles or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll have to take a break halfway through that, for a little bit, to
Lunch and shit.
yeah, you're just sort of midday break.
Actually, we would ride through noon anyway, because fuck that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's basically that you kind of have to. And then other than that, you can keep walking onwards, I guess, for another 24 miles. Let's see. Okay, so the day is long and harsh as they are in the desert. The sun moves notably in the sky, but doesn't appear to be making any moves to set. Even with all the distance you've travelled north, it's still a significant way before you reach anywhere that isn't a desert. It is very warm, very kind of harsh winds that are beginning to pick up in this area. And as as you go onwards, you begin seeing on the horizon what appears to be a solid wall just over the horizon of sand, of cloud. You can see what appears to be some form of storm brewing on the horizon that reaches down to the ground, turning into this dusty yellowy colour as it reaches down. Going
I
from a
immediately call for a
grey to a
hold.
dusty yellow. This is as you were approaching nighttime. It's a good, it's a good distance off. It's a good 6-7 miles away at this point.
Hmm.
It seemed to be coming towards us, yeah.
Kind of
It
over
does appear to be
perception.
coming towards you. Yeah, it kind of gathered quite quickly, as storms do.
Nice, you cannot see the wall.
As storms do, it especially in areas like this, it appears to have gathered quite quickly, and it is moving towards you somewhat rapidly.
Shit.
So, I forget. Honestly, I don't know if you should set up tents in
Yes, you set up
sandstorms.
tents and you try and make sure that you would usually have some kind of large tarpaulin or anything along those lines that you would try and keep a what do you call it? Your camels and that kind of stuff under, because also they would be basically sandpapered.
Literally
Yeah.
sandblasted.
Yeah, they literally get sandpapered alive, so you wanna not have that.
Not so beauty-o.
So
Which one is that?
that's the one he rides.
Have Sophia, Jackson, Olivia, Liam. I'm not
Stop.
going to continue.
Not sand, not coarse, not rough, not everywhere. Oh,
Oh
my.
my god.
It's got
Yeah.
Adam and Eve in here somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
it got
God.
a lot of weirdly named camels.
Thanks to Vom.
So as after about the majority of the day walking and this begins to pick up, you make your way up onto a higher up ridge and begin staking out some sort of tents, kind of on top of one of the dunes, because being in a valley tends to be a bad idea, because you'll get a dune blown effectively over you, and you get buried, which you would know.
So now we're just gonna have the
Cade.
ground blast from underneath us. Great.
Well, you begin setting up tents and beginning to sort of leash down your camels and putting up your big tarpaulins and stuff. Does you guys want to roll me? Let's go with some survival checks, I guess, to see how well you can
Oh boy.
construct this.
Sure.
Would I
Yes,
have
everywhere.
anything for this?
Oh boy!
no,
We're
but
fine, boys,
basically
guys.
you're affecting the DC.
Nice.
Ferdinand knows what the hell he's doing.
Ha!
So
So
does
does
I
Cade.
still rolled higher than you.
I still rolled in at 20.
Technically, there's only matter in combat. So, Salia, Talisin, and Dogbrain, you are pretty much putting up the tents as normal. Because you've not encountered this before, you guys. Well, Talisin, you might have done, but it was more your job to look out for nasties or other things that might wander looking for pickings in or after sandstorms. Not so much putting up the tents, you know. On the other hand, Cade definitely knows what he's doing, and Ferdinand, pretty much copying Cade, you two managed to go ahead and set up a pretty decent shelter between the two of you that you can get all your camels into, and your regular tents will do you guys just fine. So you managed to set down a pretty sturdy camp that you think will hold. And
But we don't need all the camels.
Yeah.
The more the
Never.
better, though.
the more
Yeah.
the better.
Dogbrain will insist that we try and keep as many camels safe as possible.
Yeah, have you scratched names off the list?
Not yet, because I don't know how many died. I think I have.
How many camels do you have with you?
I think we have like 30 or something.
Yeah, you've got quite a
Well,
I
few.
you told me to
still
make
have-
40 names. And I did.
Oh shit, I only have one more camel in my inventory.
Oh, okay. You told Fawn to pick 40 names, so there's 40 camels apparently.
Yeah.
This was,
There was, and then they got eaten.
yeah, there was like
Got easy.
5 or 6 died on the way, effectively. At
Yeah,
this
on
point,
Doc 5 names.
sure, call it
One of
5.
which was mine, damn it.
Yeah, one of which was yours. So, yeah, are you guys just gonna kind of wait it out, I suppose?
Yeah,
Is the
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's how you
it's
do a sandstorm.
it's
Maybe catch a long rest through it.
all right. Are you putting anyone on watch?
Not
I
outside
would-
the tent.
Is
Obviously,
there much to watch in a sandstorm?
not much.
I would try to
Not really.
watch.
Probably
Sam.
should, but I don't think we
I would-
really can.
I
Well-
would probably get up like around midnight and just do a quick 1 hour watch like during the middle of the night. But
All right, because it's always good to have people on watch in case anything gets loose or in
it's
case you
always
get a
good to have
leak or
someone
something.
awake. I would say.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cade and Talisin, you'd both know that's often done
Why would Talisin know that?
because he's
I've
travelled
been
these
traveling with
before.
these.
Yeah.
I'll be
Um,
glad to take a watch.
Sorry, for a second I thought Talisin was Ferdinand, and I got the two confused.
No. So, yeah, go ahead and roll me. Let's go with perception checks in order of. Actually, no. Roll investigation checks in order of the watch to make
Okay.
sure everything's in order and nothing's
Oh,
going to get
I'll
loose.
take
and
second watch.
nothing's
So
gonna break.
Gav and me. Oh, you're on
Yeah.
third.
Yep.
Okay, who's
I'll go first.
first?
I'll go 4th.
Oh boy!
Good.
Let's
Okay.
start.
Great way to
Fine,
start.
fine. Sandworm.
The rest of you gonna
shit.
roll?
Okay, yeah, sorry, I just didn't know if you were
Sorry,
gonna...
I clicked too early.
I want all the rolls.
Yeah.
I want all of the nat ones first.
Don't you
Ha!
want to in order? God damn
Screw
it.
you, Yargon. That's what you get for making
Mine
me
should
roll.
be after Ferdinand.
So bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it should.
Damn it, Rick. Okay, so
Too eager to click.
first things first. Talisin.
Yes.
About maybe half an hour into your watch, the others all having laid down and beginning to prepare to sleep, the sand begins to hit properly. The storm now upon you begins absolutely battering against the side of the tent, and it's pretty loud as the tents that you're in you've kind of strung together and tried to get in one as much as possible because it's probably safer that way. And you've got this like racketing in your ears and you begin to think that you can hear something, a voice outside of the tent. Go ahead and roll perception.
Oh, I'm actually good at this one as well.
That one.
See?
20. Okay.
No, you only rolled an 11.
I mean, yeah, it's one above my passive, but still decent.
Above the sound of the what the fuck do you call it? Above the sounds of the storm, you begin hearing this sort of faint crying sound, perhaps. It kind of sounds almost like a child, and the more you listen to it, the more certain you become that it's there. Go ahead and roll a wisdom save.
Oh boy.
Okay. Yeah, for a brief moment, you feel as though there's something attempting to make its way into your mind before you manage to shrug off the effect. There is, as the storm passes over you, continues to pass over the tent for a significant time, you can still hear this sound, but it begins getting fainter and fainter and slowly goes away.
What was that?
You don't know.
We don't know.
I'm pretty sure. Am I the only one that heard it?
You're the only one that heard it.
Yeah. Who's on next? It's Cade, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything until his watch begins, and I'm just going to say, by the way, there might be something out there, and it might be trying to, I don't know, mind control us or something. Just
Wait,
pat him on his shoulder and say, try not to die.
what did you hear? What did
Just
you
walks
hear?
off.
Well,
Opens the door and walks off.
sounded like, I'm not sure, like child crying perhaps? Something like that? I don't know.
Would I have heard of that?
Go ahead and roll nature.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's a lowly siren.
Nope.
Oh.
Yes, you have.
It's a lowly siren.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Cade, you've heard of this. That can be similar to the noise that a camel makes when it breaks free and they get into the sandstorm.
Cade, his eyes go wide. He runs outside,
Oh my
and he's
fucking
gonna check
god.
all the camels.
Okay.
In a sandstorm.
Yes.
So,
Rest in peace,
first things
Cade.
first.
How we get rid of
Strength
Cade?
saving throw.
Strength saving throw.
Yes.
Cade
Oh,
Cade
God.
gets blown away by the sandstorm. Done.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Not 20, not 1, not 20.
We've
What
had
are
as
the
many
fucking
nat
crits
20s as
today,
we've had
guys?
nat ones.
Today's starting well.
Maybe more.
So,
Yeah.
you manage to open the flap of the tent, and the one kind of, the wind is going around the tent, coming effectively from the easterly side, and it's heading towards the west. And as it, you open the flap on the west side, so it's not directly in the way, so you don't instantly fill the tent with sand or anything. You open it out, you close it up behind you.
As he's opening, I'm just going to say, what the hell are you doing, you idiot?
The camels are escaping.
What?
You manage to close the tent behind you. You take one step forward, and that instantly almost knocks straight off your feet by the wind. This horrible tearing sensation, like your entire body is being racked with sandpaper, as it
My
begins
body's
just
very well covered, but okay.
yeah. All of that is still it's buffeted. You get it's like getting buffeted and torn off of you by pretty intense winds. The wrappings, like especially around your eyes, you begin to feel it most because you've got that slit for your eyes. The joints, like at your hands and the feet especially,
I'm
also
just
around
sending
your
out the
waist.
camels after this.
Again, you begin feeling this sort of sand tearing at you, and as it does so, you manage to avoid getting knocked off your feet, only just bracing yourself against it, holding one arm up in front of you to try and shield your eyes as best you can. You push forward towards the camel tent. You go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage. This is going to be a tough one.
Joy.
That was close to a
Not terrible.
That could have been
12.
worse.
Okay, you make your way over to the tent, and it is actually further off to your right than you thought it was. You nearly walked straight past it, and catching a glimpse of it just through this very low visibility of the sand buffeting you all from all directions, and just the whole air being filled with sand. You see this sort of dark shape making your way towards it. You find the camel tent, and one side of it appears to be intact, and as you begin making your way around the other side, it does appear to be completely intact. However, I'm going to roll a thing, because at this point you are going to take some damage.
Joyous day.
Hello, Governor. Joyous days.
Cool. So you take 4 points of slashing damage as you make your way around the camel tent. You kind of go behind it, and for a minute the wind is subsided for a little bit, slightly, and then as you step out to try and check the other side where you think they might be escaping from, the hood is sort of around your head is blown off by the wind.
Oh, I liked that one.
It's still attached, like, around your back, but your neck and face in that area is now completely exposed to the sandstorm. And you are effectively considered blind.
Rip.
Can I, like, make my way into the camel tent?
Yeah, sure. So, that's pretty tightly held down. Go ahead and roll, let's see, what would it be? It would be acrobatics to try and untie that and get in, especially while they're, like, blind and stuff.
Not terrible.
Okay. With a bit of fumbling and trying to untie things, you manage to make your way into the camel tent. You are also going to take more damage.
Yeah,
In the process of that, Jesus Christ! In the process of this, you manage to take another 2 points of slashing damage as more of the sand is just torn across your face. You manage to make your way in, close it up behind you as best you can. There are camels, a lot of, there in front of you. Some of them looking at you kind of nervously, and also, well, they all appear to be pretty nervous. Most of them are lying down, and some of them are sort of looking at you kind of curiously with a bit of fright in their eyes, because they don't think they can escape from here. Which I'm sure you're aware of the feeling. You've probably seen this before.
Hello?
Yeah? Sorry. I don't have the message cantrip. That sucks, because I'm spending the night over here now.
Look, roll
You're going
perception.
back.
Okay,
Well, I'll roll perception, okay. Perception. They're probably gonna fail this.
12.
Ah,
Okay,
man.
go ahead and roll a wisdom save.
Joy.
Oh, yay.
Oh boy.
21. Okay.
Not bad.
You begin to hear the same noise that was described to you. This sort of low crying. It sounds like a child, and for a brief moment you feel the need to go out there, try and rescue it, and then you remember Talisin's words, stopping yourself. That's probably the mind control.
Actually hearing it, can I roll another nature check to know what it is?
Yeah, go for it.
I want to know.
That one! That one!
No!
Oh my god! The fuck is this day?
Oh my god.
Roll 20 has decided no!
Guys.
No nature for Cade.
You're aware that there are numbers between 1 and 20, right?
No? What you on about?
So, that is a game we have to play at some point. So, as you attempt to think back on your experiences, attempt to figure out if there's anything like this that you could possibly know of, anything that this could be. You rack your brain and you're coming up empty. You thought it could be the camels, and well, now you're here and you're sort of bleeding from your entire face, but
Yeah.
you can't think of anything. Nothing
As
comes
in,
to
I
mind.
can't think of any more ways to punch me. Got it.
There is nothing comes to mind when you attempt to figure out what could be some crying sound in the storm.
Okay.
You've never heard of something like that.
Okay.
Turns out there's a literal child out there, and we're just abandoning the thing.
Roll a wisdom save.
Uh,
Okay, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Your watch
Okay. Well, I'm
passes-
just gonna like take
Can
off.
get to
My,
his perception check already.
I'm just gonna take off my head wrap and use that as a pillow when I go to sleep over there.
Okay.
I guess.
It is horrible and full of sand, and your entire face has just been really hurts. It's been scored off by
there's
sand.
water over here, right?
There's a bit, yeah. Actually, no, there's
Oh,
most of the
really?
water there.
Chicken.
What? Sorry.
But there's quite a bit of water there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use that to wash off my face.
Okay. So you use quite a bit as you soak the head wrap, and then you get most of the sand out of it. You soak it and use it to try and wash your face off a bit.
Will I heal from this long rest, or will it be?
Uh,
I don't know. It's fine if I don't.
you won't heal the 6, but you'll heal anything else you'd taken, which I don't think you had.
I haven't taken any other
Then
damage.
no, you won't heal this. Okay. Hmm.
By the way, after about, I'm gonna like stay up for about 10 minutes and like just to like, is he coming back? It doesn't look like he's coming back.
I can't
Okay,
get
he's
to the
dead.
tent.
After that, I'm just assuming he's dead.
That's a fair assumption.
I don't blame you.
Idiot walked out into a fucking sandstorm.
Yep.
And I rolled minimum of 3 of the die for damage. 3 of 4. Okay. After that watch, about the appropriate time, I think it's Ferdinand who will wake up. Not being woken by anybody. You don't see Cade anywhere. As you awake for your watch.
I'm not really getting out of my tent. I might open the flap, see how bad it is outside.
Bad
You
idea.
open the flap. Make me a strength save.
Oh boy.
At least you actually have strength. I have a -1 by strength.
Oh god, I'm in a party of idiots.
Yeah, you are. 27.
Holy crap!
Okay, as you open the flap, you are knocked off your feet by the force of the wind.
Fuck that, closing this shit.
You are knocked off your feet, flung back a bit, and nearly pulled half the tent down just by attempting to hold onto it as you're flung inwards. You have to sort of crawl across the floor to get back over to it. The incredibly strong buffeting winds coming in to the tent through the flap.
Jesus, is the flap not upwind? I rolled a nat 20, mate.
No, you didn't roll a nat 20.
Yes, I did.
No, you rolled a
Not on the
19.
strength save, but on the survival.
Oh yeah, the flap is upwind.
I'm not stupid. I'm not opening
is
my tent
upwind.
into the wind.
It is upwind, but it's a sandstorm.
It's a sandstorm,
okay, I'm
mate.
willing to take that.
The only reason that Cade wasn't just instantly lost in the storm after attempting to go outside was because he rolled a nat 20.
Cade's just really good at going out and doing stupid things, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. You have luck on your side this time.
I have a lower int than dog brain.
Yeah.
I'm a smart brain.
Yeah, Ferdinand, there is now a layer of sand on everything in the tent. And
Ah, fuck.
Does that include the people sleeping in it?
that does include the people sleeping in it. And especially him, as he got thrown across the floor.
Would this wake us up at all? Like,
Yeah, it probably
I
would.
assume so.
I like to think Dogbrain doesn't wake up, he just like rolls over 3 times.
Dogbrain rolls over 3 times. Salia and Talisin, you are both awoken by this.
Oh, what the hell? Why is there sand on me?
Sorry, what was happening? My sound cut out for a bit.
You woke up by woke up to a very loud noise, as if your tent had fallen down, and you were being covered in sand.
God damn it. What's happening?
As you look around, everything
First.
appears to be okay. Ferdinand is by the exit flap.
Closing it up.
You're just covered in sand.
It's windy.
Why?
It's windy.
Why? Why did you open?
Having a look.
Can you not hear? The fucking. Uh,
At this point, I want to like roll over and cast Druidcraft.
Go for it.
Make a sit, like do the orb to see what fucking
I think it's a little bit drafty if you open the flap.
it's gonna
What?
be.
Yeah.
The effect might manifest as golden orb for cloud skies. Wait, what?
Just sand.
Predicts what the weather will be at your location for the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
Uh,
how long it's
The
gonna
weather
be. A
forecast
fucking storm
for the
for.
next day, sand.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a golden orb, and it slowly, well, no, it appears to be a small ball of pulsing sand that turns golden after a brief moment, and then turns to, you see a few clouds sort of skitter across the surface of it, then it vanishes.
See, you wait for it to be all gold, and then you go outside. Because that's how you know you're not gonna get sanded.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with this sentiment. Don't open the bloody flap.
Always trust the orb.
I'll trust you. But if
This is-
Lionel's gone in the morning, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh, by the way, is Cade still not back? Well, guess he's
Wait.
dead.
Where's Cade?
He went outside.
Cade went outside.
He
Yep,
should
he's
have
dead.
listened to the orb. I didn't tell him that. Okay, he's dead.
Cade's dead.
We could eat him.
If we find him in the morning, yeah.
He's pretty skinny though. He might not be like.
Why would you
Yeah.
eat him?
Wait, you
This
serious?
is-
No!
It's
It's bloody savage! Jesus!
What? Because it's
No,
like it's
Oh,
the
Jesus.
to it die, and you're like, oh, it's meat, so you eat it.
Cade's no animal.
But he's a human being.
Was.
He's human, isn't
Is
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
he's
he-
like
just
sand.
wrong. Don't do it. Don't ever do it.
I think he's like sand.
Scores, rough, gets everywhere.
Remind me to stay awake as long as you are. And not die around you.
You die around me, that's your own fault. I would just be putting you to good use.
Especially my biceps.
Oh, God. What the hell kind of party have I joined?
I don't know, one with a cannibal it seems.
Just gonna roll over and go back to sleep.
I don't eat my own people. I've never eaten a wolf in my life. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh.
Ferdinand is lost for words, and he's just gonna stay up for his watch and then go back to sleep.
Right, go back to sleep.
Okay.
Unaware that he has offended everyone.
Who's on last watch then? It is
Salia.
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 It's me.
Okay. The last two watches, unless
I'm
anyone
not
wants.
opening the flap.
Okay, so the last two watches, unless anyone else wants to do something stupid, pass otherwise uneventfully.
Joy.
Yeah. The sound of the sand slowly dies down in the early morning during your watch, Salia. And by the time the others begin to rouse, it's pretty much gone. You open the flap to look outside. There's no more storm, just blue skies. And an awful lot of sand.
Okay. Outside, take a look around.
Cade walks out of the camel tent.
Oh look, he's not dead.
Cade, so, guys, Cade's face is
Cade's
like...
face is covered.
Oh, okay.
Can we see the blood seeping through the fabric? Or the blood stains even?
Yeah, probably.
I would probably wash it beforehand if there was blood stains on it. Or try to.
You do. I mean, you could contaminate one of your barrels of water with that.
What you do is you take one of the water skins and you pour the water skin on it so you don't contaminate the whole barrel.
Okay. You could do that. It wouldn't wash it completely. It'll still be evident.
Yeah.
It's still sort of slightly redder than it was.
If only
And
there was
she's
a
lipstick
smell
on
for
it.
this.
Especially
Oh,
the
wait,
fact
there
that
is.
most of your face is missing.
Nah. Face schmash.
It is but a scratch.
That it is.
A million scratches.
Yeah, pretty much. So, as you make your way out in the morning, everything
Oh, yeah,
seems
it's
to be in
merely
order.
a flesh wound. That's it.
Violet is still just asleep, pretty much where she fell over after getting off one of the camels, which was roughly the middle of the tent, and appears to have not moved since then.
Ouch.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and wake up Violet, I guess.
Yeah, she'll wake up easy enough.
Okay. We keep moving, I guess, then.
Okay, so, slowly packing your things back together, you begin heading off for another long day's walking through the dry patch.
Yeah.
About...
Kate, where the hell were you?
I was checking on the camels.
Real clever.
Turned out just fine.
Is my ale still there?
Was his ale still there?
His ale is still there.
Cool. Yeah.
Right.
I should have drank it at all.
Nice. You'd be dead.
No, I just said the ale disappeared with the camel.
About midday, just as you guys are preparing to stop for it's a sort of stop for noon, take lunch and a drink, you begin to see something on the horizon. A small speck, a small speck that appears to be moving in your direction. And as it, you don't really get much of a look at it as it dips down under the, what do you call it, under the crest of one of the sand dunes and sort of out of sight. But there's something.
It's all a swivel.
What does it look like? Is it?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Can we roll a
Right.
perception?
I pressed the wrong button.
Yargon just died.
Yep, nope, I just pressed the wrong button because someone just walked in. Sorry about that. What?
Can we roll perception?
Yeah, go ahead. You won't get
No,
very
look
much.
at the thing.
Fuck.
Ah!
Another 20!
Jesus Christ.
14, 15, 16. Go
Come
on,
on,
17.
50.
Oh.
Cade, we need to talk about you and your weighted dice here.
There's a weight on the 1 and the 20.
At least he's min-maxing.
Yeah, good God, man.
I just can't roll nature.
I
Yeah, you
think the
wouldn't-
majority of your rolls this session have been one or the other correct.
Yeah, I think it helps.
Actually,
See.
What?
Let me
Why did you
count.
roll is another nature?
Luke, you're doing statistics wrong.
You've
No, I don't
broken
think they
them.
have been, but
fuck bell curves, am I right?
it's
Why did you?
it's far too
So
many.
I've rolled 10 times, and 4 of them have been crits or crit fails.
Why did you roll another nature to see what happens?
Don't do that.
Okay. Come on, 1.
Oh,
It's because it doesn't matter.
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
okay, with 14, 15, 16, and 15, you can't really make out much. It appears to be just a dark shape on the horizon, making its way towards you. Maybe a person, but they don't appear to have any camels with them or anything. You can't really make out anything past that. Cade, you can see that it definitely appears to be one person. You can also see that there appears to be some element, something perhaps camouflaged that's moving along with it. You can't make out what it is, but there is something that appears to be similar to whatever it is that you're looking at, size-wise, but it kind of fades into the sand and you can't make it out, but it's moving along with it.
At that, I'm gonna draw my bow.
It's
What?
on the
That's
horizon.
on the horizon.
Yeah, it's on the horizon, but I can still just draw my bow and hold it while I ride the camel. It's not that difficult.
Sure.
No, I was like, what's that on the horizon? But
It's
like,
on the
also-
horizon. Oh, that means I could shoot it.
You're not a sharpshooter?
Yes, I am.
Well, you might be. Luke isn't.
Yeah, I still have a really high range though.
Still longbows. Welcome to
Huh?
D&D. Range is
I honestly
relevant for
don't have
daggers
the
and
range
daggers
written
alone.
down.
It's a longbow. Its range is like 150 to 600.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's retardedly good. So, this is about... you see this just kind of as you guys are stopping to... for the midday break. You could choose to stop here, or you could choose to move on. And, yeah, it's up to you. What do you guys want to do?
Well,
I
in
would recommend we
gen-
keep moving.
in general, when we come across people in the desert, is that a bad sign or is that a good sign? How likely
Yes.
is someone going to pillage? How likely is 1 or 2 persons going to pillage us? I think we need to stop, guys.
Depends on.
Seeing the party, very likely.
I guess there's a roll involved here, but I'm not sure what it would be. Let's go with intelligence. Just
Well,
roll an
Robert's
intelligence.
not counting on his fingers. Are there like 7 lightly?
What?
They're like 7 lightly. Because we've got like... I've got this stick, and they don't have a stick. So if they want a stick, then they have to have my stick.
As
Right.
strangely as our friend here put that, well, we have a lot of camels. Kind of look like a caravan. What was it? 2 people, Cade?
It looked like there was something else camouflaged there.
Oh, right. Well,
Dog brain.
whatever it was, then
So, 2 tops.
yeah.
Dog brain, I
Then
don't think
I
anyone.
assume they won't
wants a
attack
stick.
a caravan. Or
That'd be
what looks like a
stupid.
caravan.
You never know how foolish people might be.
Yeah, well, if they're
Perhaps.
really foolish, they'll be equally dead when they get here.
Or they'll be lucky and shelter with the camels. But
With,
I think
with the 16 and a Cade, what's your proficiency?
3.
3. Okay. So the 16 and a 13. You both know that one person on their own is a bit odd, especially out here with no camels. But that could be desperation. That kind of thing could drive a person to do something very stupid. At the same time, you also have a lot of camels. Those can be worth quite a lot of money. Especially to some of the roaming peoples that live out in this kind of area. So, maybe they might attack. It's a possibility. It's not off the table.
Well,
Okay.
we'll keep an eye out. If it attacks, it's dead.
Well, yes. That seems as wise a decision as any.
So, are you going to stop here, or are you going to?
Yeah.
Just
I would say we
Might as
keep
well.
moving because if
I'd
it's not much
say-
of a threat, we could keep moving.
yeah.
Well, this
Well,
would
we
be where
might
you
as well
stop
have a
normally.
lunch break.
Oh, is this where we normally stop?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is kind of at your lunch break
Oh.
time.
the stop here we
Um,
can watch, which is useful.
We'll stop on a ridge.
Okay. So you stop. On a sort of a higher point, attempting to make sure you've got a good view of the surrounding area, which isn't too difficult. You manage to sort of sit down and pull out your rations, dried rations, that kind of thing. For the last few days, you guys haven't noted anything out here. There's no animals that appear to be out here. A desert
It's
is
a dry patch.
usually a very bare spot, but this is the dry patch. There's not even any animals out here. Not even the little spiders or little critters that you'd normally find. None of those.
Okay.
As you continue, you eat your lunch break. It takes about half an hour before you sort of move onwards again, and you don't see the little speck again. It appears to be gone. You just kind of watching, waiting. You don't see it there.
Interesting.
Good.
You make your way onwards, starting up on your journey again after about half an hour. Begin walking. After, let's see, what would it be? It would be, yeah, so it's about a third. So about another, well, let's call it 6 miles. About halfway. Halfway until you would stop. You stumble upon what appears to be one person on their own that you can actually see now, very much as you sort of crest over one of these ridges. It appears to be, Cade, similar to what you saw earlier. There is one person, and there is something that appears to be the sand itself, like a portion that is just moving with this one person, as they are slowly walking in your direction.
I already my crossbow.
Yeah, I've
You
got
have
my
a
gun out.
crossbow? Oh yeah, you have a crossbow.
Of course I have a crossbow.
I forgot that
Yeah,
you looted it.
actually, just my pistol. Just
Oh yeah, Yargon, was I working on the leather armor? I forgot I was doing that.
Sure. Go ahead and make some. I think this would be dexterity-based rolls.
Yeah.
I ready a firebolt if that's possible.
Just straight to dex.
2 of them, yeah.
Like, can you hold like a firebolt in your hand on preparation to throw it?
Technically, you can prepare to cast it. You can effectively hold
Yeah.
your action, which is what that does.
Alright.
If it's a spell, you
I
actually
guess
end
I'll
up
just
losing it, but at the end
That
of your
first
turn.
one's kind of
Okay.
oof.
I'll don't do that then. I'll just be
Well,
ready.
it's a firebolt, so it's a cantrip, so you'll be fine.
Actually-
You don't lose anything
yeah,
for doing it.
can-
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, first one was pretty oof, the second one wasn't so much. You make a bit of headway on your armor. It's still going to take some doing, though. This hide is pretty thick, and you don't have any kind of precision tools or any work
I had
area.
a tailoring kit I looted.
Oh, what was I working on?
You were
You were working on a gun.
A gun of some form.
I was working on the gun that can fire different types of bullets.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I did loot a tailor kit.
Yeah, you did. That's good. True. You've got some precision tools, but you don't have any like a workspace, and you're constantly moving. So it's taken you a lot more effort than you were expecting. It's a lot tougher than it looked, than you thought it would be, having made armor before. But this is a little bit harder than you're used to, so it's still taking some time.
Yeah, I'm probably used to more like not sandwormy
Yeah,
things.
like, regular armor.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to... Can I just roll for working on the blueprints for this next gun for the last 2 nights?
Yeah, go ahead. Nice.
Oh boy.
Hey guys.
So with that, you managed to finish the blueprints. You think you've got them down, with enough materials and a bit of time. You might be able to get this down.
Okay.
So, as this figure and this sort of whirling patch of air and sand that appears to be approaching you begins making its way towards you, they reach about maybe 1,000, 2,000 feet away before you can properly make out any details. And Davros, why don't you go ahead and describe yourself?
You see what looks like an elf with dark clothes and silver white hair. You also see have red eyes and a normal skin color.
Okay.
Should I ask what you mean with the normal skin color, or are we gonna avoid the racism here?
Well, European skin color. Sorry.
Tanned, but
Yeah.
due to the-
Caucasian.
Yeah. Sorry.
European.
He's a half elf, FYI.
Ah,
and with him appears to be this... It's almost humanoid. It doesn't appear to have arms or legs, but it's like... You get the feeling that it's kind of the right shape and size. This sort of whirling sand, almost like you would imagine an air elemental put in a sand pit. There is this sort of whirling kind of cyclone of air that's not particularly moving all that fast, and in the centre is this coalesced being that appears to be kind of built of sand that's constantly in motion. It's constantly moving. It doesn't have any really defined form. It's kind of just there. And it's got this effectively an aura of kind of wind that appears to be moving around it in a circle, that appears to be picking up a lot of sand with it as it does.
The hell is that? Can I roll Arcana?
Go ahead.
Probably
Yeah, it
not.
looks like some sand, innit?
23?
Yeah, it does appear to be something that could be from an air elemental. It's not an air elemental, because then it wouldn't be picking up the sand, because elemental air is a bit like that. This appears to be maybe some combination of an air elemental and something else, an offspring, if that's even possible.
I wouldn't have heard of anything like this before. This is just conclusions I'm drawing.
Yeah, this is just conclusions you're drawing. You wouldn't have heard
Yeah.
of anything like this.
never quite seen anything like that.
Maybe
It's sand. It's like it's everywhere.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, but-
But that's not normal sand.
that's sand imitating people.
It's just like wannabe sand, isn't it?
Right. Let's see where this
This
goes.
is curious.
Should we take a short break here and give Mac a chance to get back?
I think that might be a good idea. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we will take our break here. Let's see, how long has it been? It's been exactly 1 hour. So,
It's a shorter part 1. We've had shorter part 2s.
yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, we will see you in the next part, which the playlist will be linked down below because I'm me and I don't link all the other things. We
Oh,
don't
you
need
at
the
least
hush.
get the playlist going.
I do just link the playlist down there, yeah.
Oh boy.
So anyway,
Well,
catch you in the next
catch
one.
me.